Hello there. Welcome to So Dramatic, where we're bringing fantastic ideas to life. Today, I am revisiting the spring cloak and making the base so that I can put all of the elements together. I've got my spring cup. I'm very excited. I wanted to have this cloak done for May 1st, but that is in 2 days, people. The May is coming and I might not be ready, but I'll have it within the first couple of days, so we'll see you then. So this is the pattern I'm using. This one right here with this hood. And I think you can only see it well right there because it has the tassel. So once I have the pattern pieces from the package prepared, pinned it to the liner fabric and I'm ready to cut out. I'm using liner fabric to do the mock-up so that I'm not using another pieces because I don't think I'm going to have to adjust the pattern pieces very much. Once those pieces are cut out, I'm sewing on the long lines. I have already stay stitched the upper collar edges. This prevents the collar edges from getting twisted out of shape too much while I handle the rest of the garment. When I first did this, I didn't leave armholes, so I had to rip them open with a razor blade, but at this point I'm just using a basting stitch to check the fit. So it was good that I didn't have a whole backstitched garment to worry about as I did that. Okay, it's time to try on the cloak liner. All right, and it's going to fit about there. And you can see how it comes down in the back. Okay, I think I do like the way it fits. All right, there it is, and we're going to proceed. So now that I know that the cloak is the correct fit and the armholes are big enough to move comfortably, I can move to the next section. Now I'm not sure if this cloak is actually going to have sleeves or maybe very minute ones. Perhaps I'll crochet some, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to leave openings for now and kind of put that on the back burner of my brain. So the seam is a close fit on the shoulder where the curb is. So I'm using a dressmaker's ham to make this ironing just a little easier and get the thing all ironed into the correct shape, mostly so it fits better. So now I'm ready to mock up the hood and see if it's deep enough, like I have in mind, and if not, I can always add to it. It's not that big a deal. I'll mock up the hood and then base stitch the edge to the cloak because there's some mantles and other pieces I need to put on. So I'm just going to base stitch so I can take it off after just to test the fit. Okay, everyone, I'm stitching the hood. Hopefully the road's not too loud. It's a beautiful spring day, so I have the window open and I'm right beside a road, so there might be a bus. I'll try and edit it out, but we'll see how we do. All right, so I'm going to put the stitching line right here. So it's about 1/8 of an inch, and this is 1/4 inch where the seam is going to go. So we're stay stitching the pleat into place so it won't fall apart while we're making this. And there we are. It looks fantastic. I'm going going to put a little bit closer to the camera. Focus in. And you can see that stitch right there. Oh my gosh. You can see the stitch right there. And going all the way through. And it's going to hold the pleat nicely. Alright, I'll do the other one and then we're going to sew up the bottom. Or the back, sorry. We're going to sew up the back. Alright, here's a serious one now. I'm going to make sure that everything's a go and drop the needle down. I've got the leader and I'm going to back stitch. So I use leaders and enders to hold the other end of the fabric up, and it makes back stitching near the edge of the fabric not so awful, because often the edges of the fabric get all crumply. But if there's something underneath the back end of the presser foot, then it stays steady while you do that. And I'm going to throw some back stitches in along the edge. And you see where all these darts are? I'm definitely going to do an extra back stitch here because this is where the line is weakest. And I'm checking to make sure that the stitch line is working right, because I can't tell you how many times I thought I was stitching and nothing was happening because I had a snarl or something unaddressed. So no thread was moving. And I'll sometimes also look up to the side and see if my spool is unspooling while I'm sewing. Just a quick look, the way that you would quickly look in the side mirror when you're driving. I know the two aren't really the same, but you do have to have the feeling in your foot, where the machine and the foot and your hands are a whole body experience. Okay, I'm going to put an ender in so that I can do this part pretty smoothly. There we go. And what I'm going to do with the needle down is pick this up, turn it, and snip off the ender. And now it becomes the next leader, right? Then I can drop that. And what I'm going to do, because this could be a problem when I do the I'm not going to be turning this one inside out, but even so, to reduce bulk, because this is the inside of the hood, right? So it is as it is. I will run an iron inside there though, just to hold down the line and cement it into place. But I like to clip off those ends, because if you are turning it right side out, it makes it a lot easier to do with less bulk in the point. Okay, so now I'm going to pin the collar opening to the liner cloak and base stitch it into place. That means I'm going to be using a 4.5 inch stitch length, so that with no back stitching at either end, so that I can easily cut it out if it's not working for me. Okay, see you there. So this is what it looks like with the hood attached. We're going to try it out. Okay. Oh yes, it's going to be great. Okay, the hood is a go. So the mock-up is a success, which means that I don't need to worry too much about testing the mantelpieces, because I know if the other things fit, then this is going to fit. So I'm just going to proceed. I cut some darts into here, and then the next part will be cutting out the pieces from the teal fabric. This is the teal fabric here. This is going to be the main color of the outside of the cloak with design element decorations over top of it. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe.